So tonight's recipe, everyone, is a chicken stir fry, and which is a fantastic dish, easy to do. You know, it's a classical Asian dish, and it will take you sort of 15-20 minutes. Key ingredients are well, whichever protein you want to use. Tonight I'm going to use chicken, but you can make that beef, or you can make it prawns, whatever you like. And as far as vegetables is concerned, once again, you can really sort of make them what you like. I'm going to use some zucchini, I'm going to use some capsicum, some carrots, some onions. Must have some ginger, fresh ginger. Must have some garlic, onions, and some chili to make it as hot as you like. 1 spoonful of sugar, no more. But the other key ingredients are fish sauce and oyster sauce. Okay, and I'm just going to add some cashews as well. So here's my chicken. I've already sliced it up into strips. The other thing, of course, is you're going to have a little bit of rice. You are allowed a little bit of rice. So I'm just going to wash that first of all, and that's not going to take any more than 10 minutes. So you want to sort of put the rice on just as you're starting to cook the vegetables and the meat. And that can be on a fairly low heat whilst you're doing everything else. Obviously you need a wok. I don't have a wok burner on this cooker. That would be ideal, because the great thing about a wok burner, it gives you that that sort of diffuse heat, and it has to be a strong heat. That's the secret for stir fry. But this is the best that I've got. Before I put that on, I'm just going to dice up or cut up some vegetables. I'm just going to use half an onion, will be sufficient. And give that a little wash. And as far as the vegetables are concerned, I like to sort of make match sticks out of my vegetables. Just like that. Because with a stir fry, you don't need to sort of really cook the vegetables that thoroughly. Really all you're doing is actually just heating them up with the heat of the wok. The capsicum I tend to sort of cut into squares. Same with the mushrooms. I just tend to cut those into quarters, just take the stalks out. And finally the zucchini. Probably half of this zucchini, you don't need the whole thing. This is just for 2 of us. So we might just like that. Cut those in half again. Okay, that's our vegetables. Okay, they're ready to go. Garlic. I use 2 cloves. And just give that a smash with the back of the knife. Makes it a lot easier to get the skin off. Chop that up, not too finely. And I should have here we go, another bowl. Put my garlic in. And then my ginger, which I'm going to cut into matchsticks, proper matchsticks. Probably half that amount. There we go, just like that. And then cut that finely. Into little matchsticks. And our chili. just, there you go. That's enough heat. Cashews. So what you're going to do is you're going to be cooking this this first, what's in here first up, and then adding your chicken, taking that out, and then adding your vegetables. So I think we're ready to go. So now we can fire up our rice is cooking. We can fire up our wok. So put it on maximum. Just going to open up the window a little bit just to, because it is going to smoke a bit. I use olive oil. I use olive oil for everything. Some people use canola or sunflower oil or something like that, but olive oil is just fine. And let that heat up. And the other thing you need, essential for Asian cooking, of course, or cooking in the wok, is your spatula. So we'll just let that heat up, and there's our chicken. So that's going to go in first, that's going to cook, then I'm going to add the chicken. And it's not going to take long, it's only going to be sort of a minute or two for each of these. It's going to come together very quickly. That rice is cooking nicely. Oil is getting hot. Alright, I think we're ready to go. And because the wok is very hot, or the oil in the wok is very hot, you just need to keep things moving around. Otherwise it's going to burn. Especially the garlic. And burnt garlic has a bitter taste, so you just don't want it to sort of get to that stage. And this is only going to take a minute. If I had a proper wok burner, it would be a lot. The heat would be fiercer than this, but this is as much as I can get. So we just have to sort of go with what we've got, which is okay. I'm just going to close the window just a little bit because that's taking the heat away from it. There's a little bit of a breeze blowing outside. We're at anchor at Nara Inlet, but it has cooled off a little bit. The temperature has cooled off a little bit, and there's a little bit of a breeze blowing, so we'll just shut that breeze out. And you can just see that the cashews are just browning. They're just sort of. The smell of the ginger and the garlic is just wonderful, which you can't, of course, you can't sort of tell from the video. I'm now going to add my chicken, and these are in strips, so they're going to cook fairly quickly, and probably about just 2 minutes. So just keep it moving. It may not be cooked all the way through. With chicken you obviously need to make sure it's cooked all the way through. With something like beef, not so important. Prawns don't take much time at all. They cook very quickly. And that has been going for about 2 minutes. And I think that's probably done. So I'll just put that on a plate and just leave it there for the moment. Okay, so we've set aside our garlic and our ginger and our chicken and our cashews, and just adding a bit more oil now. So we're now going to do the vegetables. Just make sure that oil's nice and hot. Throw the vegetables in. And once again, just keep it moving. And the main vegetables, really, the ones you need to cook here, of course, are the onions and the mushrooms. The rest don't really need cooking, they just need to be warmed up. So that's what you're doing with the wok. So this is probably going to take about 3 minutes. Just keep it moving the whole time. And the onion will soften and partially caramelize. And the mushrooms will brown. And that's when you know when it's ready to go. Close this window. So oyster sauce and fish sauce are the two things you need to add, and just as I say, a spoonful of sugar, and that's really just to take the bitterness out of the fish sauce, because the fish sauce is bitter, it's a very strong flavour, and it's very salty as well, and so you don't need to add any salt to this dish, this recipe. You don't need to add any pepper because you've got the chilli in there, so the seasoning is all done. There we go. Those vegetables are looking fantastic. They just sort of take on a golden brown, and but they still retain their crispness. That's the great thing about a stir fry. The vegetables are still, crunchy. They're cooked through because and they're hot. But that's all you need to do. So I'm just going to keep that going. But if the rice is done prematurely, which it will be by 2 or 3 minutes, just turn the heat off and just put a plate over the top of it just to keep it warm. Okay, I think those vegetables are almost done. So we're now going to add our fish sauce. Now, as far as quantity is concerned, probably a tablespoonful. I just guess, because I've done this so often, but that's about a tablespoonful. Trust me. Okay. Same with the oyster sauce. That's enough. Probably about a tablespoon, maybe a little bit more. And as I say, 1 spoonful of sugar. That's it. Okay. Stir that through. You end up with just coat that's all you need to do at this stage, is coat the vegetables. And it gives you a little bit of sauce at the end. So, okay, I think that rice is done, so we're going to turn that off. Okay, those sauces are all the way through the vegetables now, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add back in the protein and the garlic and the ginger and the cashews, and once again just stir that through, really just to sort of complete the cooking of the chicken, but also bring it back to heat, sizzling nicely. And that is your chicken, or stir-fried chicken. It doesn't get any simpler, and it doesn't get any more delicious. That's it. On the Nastia website, obviously talk about limiting things like rice and potatoes and those sort of things. But with this dish, what you're allowed to do is you're allowed to have a small portion of rice and a big portion of the vegetables and the protein. Okay, and that's really the secret, is moderation with everything. That rice is a little bit stodgy still, probably could be a little bit drier, but that's okay. And plenty of the good stuff. There it is. There's a little bit of sauce in the bottom of the pan there. Make sure that gets dished up as well. And there we go. Just enough for two. There's a little bit left. I think we might as well plate up the whole lot. Hey, Dan?
Yeah.
Yes.
Looks good.